Well, as usual, I've got a ton of information for this week about what's going on with the Appalachian Trail through hikers in the class of 2025. We got folks that are out there, folks that are stepping off, folks that are stepping back into the matrix. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first hiker I want to go over is a hiker that we haven't been, he's not updating us, and that's Ricochet. But it's significant because, to begin with, Ricochet's trying to do a calendar year Triple Crown, and he's the first Nobo hiker that I've heard of that has made it up to the Devastation area there in Tennessee. So he's made it all the way to Iron Mountain Gap and beyond there by now. But when he got to Iron Mountain Gap, and this is coming to me from local trail angel Marty, and Marty helped him out, and he got off at Iron Mountain Gap and kind of took a little reprieve there. Marty helped him out with that, and overnight to get in out of the chill and to and to get dry. But anyway, he's made it to Iron Mountain Gap, and he indicated that everything was clear coming through there. The only issues were all the root balls that are in the trail. But other than that, he didn't have any problem getting through. So that's all the way from Springer to Iron Mountain Gap. So we'll talk a little bit more about beyond there here in just a minute. So Fancy Pants and Curious George, they are on the B2B. That's Bammer to Baxter hike, and they have passed the 200-mile mark. They sent in this video.
Hey Ramdino, Fancy Pants and Curious George coming at you with a trail site update. We are well past the 200-mile mark on the Pinhoti Trail. The Pinhoti Trail itself is 351 miles in length before it connects up with the Benton Mackay. My ankle's doing a lot better. Today is the first day I've not had to take ibuprofen, and I've also started wearing some inserts inside my ultras. So that's been helping a lot. Last thing is, as far as trail conditions go, is water. Pay close attention to your water sources on far out. I've been trying to update them as I go along, but water is scarce on certain sections of the trail, and if it were not for the goodness of trail angels, it'd be tough. Anyways, we'll update you next week.
So appreciate the water report you're giving out there. Any hiker that's reporting in, updating, please give us your water reports and trail conditions as well as your condition out there and where you're at. But thanks a lot for that. Fancy Pants, I did notice that they had a bag tag on there from a previous year, and she indicated that was when they were on doing a section hike. So in case you didn't know it, those bag tags are not just for thru hikers. You can get one from the ATC for doing a section hike as well. And then Denny Moore, he is overnighting over the past couple nights there at Hogpen Gap. He started off there on the approach trail on the 11th of February. Said he barely made it to sleep there at Springer Mountain Shelter the first night because it was so chilly. But he said now weather has been great for hiking. He did spend one night with Canadian Bacon, so we're updating her. And she's been sending stuff into us and said that she was an awesome lady, followed by the night there. By the next night, he went and stayed at Above the Clouds Hostel. Enjoyed that stay. Highly recommends the Polar Plunge there. So they got something, they've got like instead of having a hot box there where they got a sauna, hot water coming into it, they got cold water coming into it, which now I hear is the thing, is cold water therapy. But in any case, he recommended that. And then Victoria is now Frodo Baggins, and she's on trail. And then our trail buddy Luscious, he has made it into the Smokies, and he may be out of the Smokies by now, but he sends in this video.
Hello, Ramdino. Luscious here, up on Kuoi, also known as Klingman's Dome. And man, it was foggy, and it's been rainy up here in the Smokies. We're halfway up through it, but today we just got beautiful views. It is gorgeous up here, and loving life.
Awesome to hear. He's making great time. Appreciate those hikers that sent in those from the trail updates. And then we've got a couple of intro videos here. So we've got Laura. She is starting a flip-flop attempt at Harper's Ferry at the end of March. She sends in her intro video.
Hey Ramdino, Laura here. I'm at First Landing State Park in Virginia Beach. I'm doing this as an announcement video. It's a beautiful day here. Probably about 60 degrees, windy, but very, very nice out. I'm going to be starting the flip-flop of the AT inside of the end of March, beginning of April. So head north all the way to Katahdin, and then flip back to Harper's Ferry, and then head from there down south to Georgia. Don't know how much I'm going to be video or sending videos. I really don't feel comfortable talking on camera, but I'll send pictures and be on YouTube and try to do my best. See you out there. Bye.
And Gary sends in his intro video.
Hello, Ramdino. This is Gary from Gary's Wanderings. To start off, I just want to say thanks for all the support that you provide to the hiking community. I look forward to seeing your videos every week, and especially the trail condition updates from the hurricane damage. With that being said, I just want to take this time to announce my attempted through hike of the Appalachian Trail beginning in February of 2025. I'll be doing a northbound hike beginning with the approach trail at Amicalola Falls State Park and continue northbound to Maine. Also, this will be a supported through hike, as my brother will be following along in his RV and providing logistical support as we move northbound. I'm very excited to begin this journey and look forward to meeting my fellow hikers out there on the trail. Again, Ramdino, thanks a lot for all your help.
So greatly appreciate that. We also had a couple of other hikers, Jim and Jill. They sent in their video from the trail.
Hey Ramdino, Jim and Jill here, hiking a spur of the Florida Trail in the Blackwater River State Forest.
We needed an alternative to sugary sports drinks and heard you talk about Element. We placed an order using your code and received the sample pack with a variety of flavors, like chocolate, which makes my water taste like a delicious chocolate milk.
Or mango chili, which keeps me warm on a cold winter day. We find that Element keeps our energy levels up, whether we're hiking, kayaking, or mowing the lawn. Thank you, Ramdino, for telling us about Element. That is so good.
Delicious.
Thanks, Jim and Jill, for sending in that video. That is awesome to hear that Element drink mix with its 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium is doing what it needs to do to keep those electrolytes in balance inside of you and get you down the trail to your next adventure. Sounds like y'all are having a lot of them as well. So right now, or anybody out there that wants to try Element drink mix, with every order, they will give you a free sample pack. So go to drinkelement.com/Ramdino for that offer. That's drinklmnt.com/Ramdino. They'll send you a free sample pack over there. Hey, and if you want to take advantage of an offer that I'm giving you right now, if you'll send me in a video once you get your Element, tell me what you like about it and show me how things are going with you and Element out there, I'll send you right from my kitchen my own free sample pack put together for you. So go to drinkelement.com and get you some. Hey, appreciate y'all sending in that Element video. That's awesome. As I said in that video, if you want to be a part of that and get some free samples right out of my kitchen, then you can send me in a video of your Element experience out there on the trail. So off trail, we did have a couple hikers that did have to get off trail. Rachel, she made it to Cooper's Gap, and she indicated that she is going back home. So simply put, she says she was unprepared. She says it's beautiful out here, but she's just not where she needs to be physically and mentally. And those go together so much, but they are apart. So you might be physically fit to go out there, but mentally you're just not into it out there, as far as, you know, the grind that it takes, and then also sleeping, you know, out in the woods by yourself. So, but the biggest thing takeaway from that is she tried, and she did more than 99% of the rest of the world did by getting out there and making an attempt. So she's a winner already in my book. No shame in going home, and you know, you live and you learn, and hopefully she will be, she's learned what she needs to do now, what she needs to prepare herself mentally, maybe start a little later so that she could be with some other people if that was an issue for her, but also dialing in her gear better. So So anyway, appreciate that. And then we got Wolfie. He is off trail. He got noro. He went home to try to get over that. And while he got home, he got caught up in the grandpa vortex. So hopefully he is going to be getting back out there. So anybody throughout the year, if y'all decide to get off the trail, let us know. We care about you. And when you're not posting, then we worry about you, believe it or not. So let us know that. No harm in somebody quitting sooner than Katahdin or Springer or wherever they're starting. You're a winner just for getting out there on the trail. So do not worry about that. So we got folks that are stepping off or on, depending on how you look at it. When I say stepping off on their trip, meaning they're stepping off the matrix and onto the trail, some people get confused about that. And they just say, well, it should just be stepping on the trail. But I call it stepping off. It's my channel, and that's what I'm calling it. So anyway, let's go through give the rundown of who's starting next week. So we got Dennis. He's doing the approach trail. Straps is doing the approach trail. The mailman, he's Nobo from Springer. We got Sally's doing the approach. Dave's doing the approach. Kentucky Crew, that is I don't know if they're taking the family this year or not. Definitely husband and wife. They'll be doing Nobo from Springer. Papa Hikes, he'll be doing the approach. Livewire will be coming Nobo from Springer. Journey is going to be starting the approach. Lieutenant Hikes, he'll be doing Springer. Uncle Bill will be doing the approach on his Nobo. April Maria, she'll be doing the approach on her Nobo. Allie Taylor will be coming from Springer. Sarge, he's going to be doing the approach Nobo. Donna will be starting from Springer. Razzle will be doing the approach. Magpie is going to be starting from Springer. Blaze One's from Springer. David Spooner is going to be starting his Nobo. He did not indicate whether he'd be Springer or the approach trail. Crash is going to be on the approach trail. Treetops the approach. Raz approach. And Peepaw is on the Springer. All those folks are on my support list, and you can go there if you're a thru hiker and put yourself on my support list. And the way to do that, link to the forum is down below, and for you folks in the hiker community, so you can go and keep up with those people that are out there. And what's more important is spur them along throughout the course of their trip. You wouldn't believe how much it means to have people watching and people actually cheering you on as you go. A lot of times that keeps people on trail during some bad times and helps them finish. So go out there and give them a attaboy or attagirl as they're out there on the trail. Registrations we had this week, so we're up by 54 Nobo from 1,515 to 1,569. We're up. We're down 2 on flip-floppers, so that means we had a couple flip-floppers cancel. And then kind of a weird anomaly. Not sure what's going on here. If it was my data was incorrect last week, can't be that. Or if a lot of people just canceled their reservation, don't know. Maybe got bad data from the ATC. That didn't happen. But we did lose 25 SOBO registrations. So we only had a total of 27 additional registrations for last week, up from 1,712 up to 1,739, which is still down from the typical registrations that we have been seeing over the past few years. So here comes to the news portion. So we've heard from Trail Angel Marty. I mentioned that before, up at Iron Mountain Gap. And I think I'm going to start calling him our Tennessee correspondent. We got a northern correspondent, Whispers. So we didn't have a Tennessee correspondent. So you're it, Marty. Marty's been sending us a lot of information, and he put out a bear-proof trash can up there for hikers to use in the middle of nowhere, right? But it's actually going to serve as a waypoint for the reroute that's going to be happening up there. But it's been great to get his perspective on how things are going up there through the devastation zone. He indicated, and he lives in that area, and he indicated while he was out and about that he saw some National Forest Service folks that were in the area. They were checking out reroutes. They didn't get there, he said, till like 3:30. So, it gets dark at 5:30 or 6. So didn't have a lot of time to check it out, but he indicated they were all wearing National Forest Service badges on them or patches. So he said they were bigwigs, but he did indicate they were checking out the reroutes. I've also seen some signs from the Tennessee Eastman that have posted where that reroute is going to be starting up there, and it's going to be using a waypoint right there at Marty's trash can for you, which is somewhere around 7/10 of a mile away from southbound from Iron Mountain Gap. And that's going to occur because right now they are not going to be clearing that 7/10 of a mile, waiting on the National Forest Service to finally pull the hammer on whether or not they will have a salvage operation. Marty says that he feels like they will. And he would kind of know because I'm sure he talks to more National Forest Service folks up there than most people does, since he lives in the neighborhood and sees them out there whenever they're there. But in any case, that looks like that is going to go off. So until that happens, there's no point in them Tennessee Eastman clearing that 7/10 of a mile section, because it's just going to get tore up anyway, and they'll be back in there repairing it. So Whispers, our northern correspondent, he sends in, they had another weekend of extreme cold up there in the New Hampshire area. He said they had single digits in Boston with negative digits in a lot of the White Mountain towns. He did confirm the snowpack still persists, which he says is a little unusual for the last few decades for this time of year. Said wind chills on Mount Washington were minus 55. So those are more or less unsurvivable if somebody got caught up there. Said they've had an extremely cold winter with repeated small amounts of snow coming in, which has led to a thin but solid, sometimes icy snowpack. Said higher elevations, the snowpack is drifted pretty deep, and above tree lines they have areas of mixed ice and snow drift. So besides the cold, he says it's been a great winter up there. And Tennessee Eastman checked in, and they indicated that's a trail maintainer club there in the Tennessee area, and they indicated that they have pretty much sawed their way through all the devastation. So we know the North Carolina area is pretty much cleared. Now the Tennessee, with the exception of Iron Mountain Gap, and that's 7/10 of a mile, and then everything on the northbound side of that has been made hikeable or passable. We've got a couple wilderness areas that are being cleared with crosscut saws, believe it or not. Crosscut saw being a non-mechanical saw. And I don't know how they possibly get in there and clear trees that are stacked on top of each other that are in a bind and other pressure, but apparently they do it. But in any case, that takes a long time to clear with that. But those areas have been hikeable. I know hikers, Sobo, that came through there earlier. Remember, Toppy finished, and she came through there. So pretty much every bit of the Appalachian Trail now is hikeable. Now, some of it is still closed, although Pisgah National Forest did open up more of it this past week. However, Iron Mountain Gap, again, is not open. And they got some other areas that are still closed, but everything but Iron Mountain Gap is hikeable. So get out there, have at it, no bows. There's a reroute around Iron Mountain Gap. Of course, we've talked about the reroute from hell around the Gestoa Bridge wipeout there in Irwin. So hopefully there's going to be more and more information coming out, and they'll do some type of raft shuttle or raft ferry across the Nolichucky there. But until then, you guys are at risk for that walk around. But the ATC has approved the reroute around Iron Mountain Gap, just waiting on the bureaucracy of the National Forest Service there in the Pisgah to do their part and finish that. They don't want any trees blaze, so you'll need to be looking for market tape and T-post that the Tennessee Eastman and some temporary signs that they're going to be putting out there. But it's not going to be blazed. Did want to just say one more thing. I'm not telling you to go through a closed area. I am telling you that it's all hikeable except for Iron Mountain Gap, but I'm not telling you to go through a closed area. Wink, wink, nod, nod. But whatever areas you're going through that impact zone, you have got to be careful. It's going to be a lot more dangerous than it has ever been before between the root balls and the hangman in the trees and things like that. So there still could be trees coming down. There still could be mudslides Hopefully most of those have subsided, but in any case, be careful out there. Speaking of the ATC, they came out this year with their 2024 Thru Hiker survey that they did. And according to their survey, a couple anomalies I saw on there. So to begin with, they have a pie chart there that they've included with their 2024 survey, but it's listed as 2023. And it shows 63% of the folks have finished their through hike. So I don't know if that's a mistype or they put the wrong pie chart from 2023 in there. Some interesting things I found out about there. So most people have already recognized that that is probably bad data. The reason it's bad data is because, well, we won't go into big detail about that, but basically it's submission biased and location biased, and are people that didn't finish their hike, are they going to actually finish the survey versus people that did? So there's a lot of bias there, but also the fact this list is 2023. My information that I have shows completely different information for 2024, which is what this survey was supposed to be for. So at the end of day's hike, I met some of the last hikers up Katahdin. They were on the last day. They had the last bag tag, or rather the summit card summit pass that you have to get up to Katahdin. And they were this came from Gripper. He was number 1088. And that was on, I think, October 13th, which was when Katahdin closed up there. So that's in 2024. And that is out of approximately 4,159 that registered, which that equates to 26% of NOBO that finished. Now, I know that doesn't include flip-floppers and SOBO, but there's no way possible that that number would equal the 63% that they've put out. Not only it's not going to be that many SOBO and flip-floppers, because they are by far the minority of people that hike. And also we had a lot of 2024 hikers that got out or they got off and didn't finish because of Hurricane Helene and the devastation that happened before they could get through the devastation zone there in Southern Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee. That is, I think that information is incorrect. I did find that the information I have from 2023 was that the highest number I had on October 21st, I believe it was summit card number 2,274 with 3,722 people registered that year SOBO. So that does equate to 61% of NOBO that finished. I think I said SOBO. I meant NOBO. And then when you factor in SOBO and flip-floppers, then we could have reached 63% in 2023. But that just seems like a really high number. One year you're at 26%, and which has been what we've been tracking for years now. And then all of a sudden we jump up to 61%. So that's some interesting math. Don't know how that got to be so high there. I really doubt that you're going to have that big a disparity between the two. So somewhere we've got some bad data. We know that the registration is not accurate data, but it's the best we have. Not everybody registers. But it's the best that we have. And then we know the survey is not great data because not everybody responds. So, and then you have response bias. So that's not the best data. But I suppose it's the best we have. But you would at least figure that the 2023 or the 2024 pie chart would be with the 2024 survey. But my opinion is that 63% of people that registered did not finish their hike. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised that the ATC would put out such a large number. And that's my opinion, because 63% makes it looks like that more people are having success, meaning it's easier for whatever reason than people have thought in the past. And so more people would be apt to get there and make an attempt. And I mean, let's face it, the ATC doesn't want more hikers on the trail. It's nowhere in their mission statement. It's nowhere in their identity statement. It's nowhere in their vision statement. The only thing in any of those statements is about the treadway. There's a minute amount about volunteers, but there's nothing about hikers. So they don't want you out there. I mean, let's face it. You hikers get out on the trail, y'all just abuse it. I mean, you wear it out, you expose roots and rocks, you scratch up the rocks with your trekking poles, and y'all just make a general mess out of it. So you just need to stay home. Don't get out there on the trail. Now, I'm being facetious, but about that statement. But however, the ATC is not about the hikers. They're about the treadway. So now let's keep on going with some more news. So the Green Mountain Brigade, they've been doing this for 8 years. They contact me every year, and not for 8 years because I haven't been around for 8 years. But my channel did have a birthday, and birthday with a F, birthday, and that was this past week. They said, you've been doing this for 7 years. Well, I thought I'd only been doing it for 3 or 4. That's crazy. I've been doing this for 7 years, or my channel's been out there. But you think I'd have more people watching the channel, right? So how about y'all go out there and help me with that? Now's a good time to ask you to subscribe and leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and share the channel. That would be helpful. Let's hit 50 by July. Let's hit 50 subscribers by July. But anyway, Green Mountain has been getting back to me for the past 7 years, but they've been doing this for 8 years. And so they are a branch of the Royal Rangers, and they're planning on doing a hiker feed for over a couple days from March 28th to March 29th at Burningtown Gap in North Carolina. And so they put that out there every year because they don't want a duplication of Trail Magic there, and they take up the whole section there at Burningtown Gap. It's not that big to begin with. It's near the Knock, kind of right before the Knock, kind of the last place that people can do Trail Magic before the Knock. But anyway, that's where they're doing it there. So that is March 28th through the 29th. And so this is pretty cool for our channel. And I say that because this is our channel. Me, you, y'all all help bring in the news and everything. So I'm just a figurehead that puts it out there for you. But somehow this channel got nominated for Best YouTube Channel of 2024 in the People's Choice Awards for the Outdoor Media Summit. I don't know what all that is, but it's pretty cool to get nominated for that. But we need your help. You got to go and vote this channel in to win the award. We've just been nominated. So I'll leave a link to it down below. It's a Facebook group where you can go down to it. Once you hit that Facebook group, you'll have to scroll down to the YouTube channels. And then when you hit that YouTube channels, you'll have to open that up and you'll see Ramdino hiking the trails in there, and just click on the radio button and then get out of that. You don't have to save it or anything. Just go away from that Facebook page, and that will give us the vote. So go and vote. We got a long way to go to pass the next folks up there in first place, but I think that'd be pretty cool for our channel to get out there and win some type of award. And then personal quest I have. So my mother-in-law fell down her steps in her basement, shattered 3 ribs and broke 2 others, punctured her lung. They had to put a chest tube in last night, and they had trouble doing it, so much so that the doctor had to put his whole hand in there to get the thing in the right spot. So she's in ICU down at a large trauma center, and she's going to have surgery to go back in there and tie 2 of those ribs back together. I guess she'll have a plate like I do. These plates, by the way, I got my medical bill. The plates cost $6,000 and the screws are $67 a piece. So I don't know what hers is going to cost, but she had to be airlifted down there. So it's probably going to be a whole lot more than mine, but I'm healing up pretty good. So hopefully she will. Got good mobility in it. Thanks a lot for everybody's prayers and your thoughts and your good wishes out there. Now, you can keep doing it for me, but add her to your list as well, because she's 78, and so she is in a lot worse shape than I am down there. So appreciate you sending those good vibes and good thoughts and prayers for us and my wife, Trail Boss. That's my mother-in-law. It's her mom, and then all the family and everything. So thanks a lot for all the folk, everything you do out there for us, and to be a part of this channel and to make this channel what it is. Go and vote. And as always, appreciate you, and I hope to see you out there.